Hello, everybody, and welcome to Behind the Curtain, the series where every week I go ahead, talk about my week, a theme that ran through the week, and I also ask you guys to do the same. If you can tell this week, my voice is a little different. It's because I've very recently woke up, of time-wise of recording this, so there you go. There's the answer for that one. And let's just get into it like always. I will say, as opposed to every other week so far, I don't have like a big main topic to talk about. I'll see if there's a tangent I can go on, but there isn't anything like major from this week where I'm sat there like, man, I want to talk about that theme. But we'll go ahead and we'll get into it. Of course, the week summary. Really not that much has happened this week. Hence why there isn't really a topic to talk about. But yeah, it's basically the weekend. Did the kind of typical stuff. There was like a gaming event that I went to this weekend. It was just a little bit of fun. I don't often get like the opportunity to socialize in person much. So it's really nice whenever there is anything like that sort of thing. It's really enjoyable. So I do enjoy kind of any excuse to go out and do stuff with people. And I guess that sounds really sad and lonely, but I don't know. It's the truth. I feel like I'm a really awkward age where, like, if you don't go to university and you don't stay in touch with people from school or whatever, then you kind of don't have anybody. So, any people I do have, I really do appreciate when I do actually get to spend physical time with them. Because while I have a lot of friends online, there's just something different, obviously, about interacting with people in person. But yeah, other than that, on that social kind of line, went ahead and had there's like a Christmas party that we did, even though it's not really around Christmas. This was like end of last week, so you get what I mean about not being really around Christmas. But yeah, had a cool little Christmas party, which was very awesome fun. It's just nice to, like I say once again, just like cut back, relax, and just be like social with people. You know what I mean? I don't know. I love online, but it has sort of hindered me in the sense of like, because of that, I don't push myself to like interact with people in day-to-day stuff, I guess, maybe. But yeah, other than that, I guess there really hasn't been too much happening this week. It's been Christmas. Well, it's not been Christmas, but it's December, so I've had to order all my presents, and it's like kind of the thing where you just. I'm curious, how do you guys think you're good at gift buying? Because I would say I'm up there with gift buying. I would say. We're doing a Secret Santa this year, and I'll admit that's probably the most I've struggled for gift buying, but I think it'll still work. But yeah, I think I'm a really good gift buyer because I don't know, just the way my brain works, I'm just like efficient with it, because I'll just sit there and be like, all right, I'm getting a present for this person, and I'll just like type keywords in like Amazon of like things I know they like, and we just spitball from there, And if you don't know, you just search like novelty gifts for sister, and then you kind of go from there. I don't know, gift buying is a weird one. I also feel bad this year because obviously I still don't have a job and I haven't for almost a year now. Because obviously I've had to spend less, and I feel bad for that. But my parents are like, well, if you don't have it, you don't have it. Like, that's kind of how it is. And I would like to ideally be able to give a lot of gifts to people. I don't know. It feels really nice to give gifts. I'm stupid, and I'm not. And I wish I could do it more often. I know, like people are like, oh, so people show their appreciation in gifts. I feel like I'm probably kind of like that. Like, if I were to someday end up in like a fortunate position where I would have a lot of money or the ability to give like gifts and stuff like that easily, I feel like I do it a lot. Maybe too much. Yeah, I don't know. I just really, it's quite fun giving people gifts and like their reactions to stuff. So, but yeah, I did all the gift stuff this week, and the person I struggled for the most was ironically my dad, because normally my dad, because I'm like I do gaming stuff with my dad, and he plays video games and stuff like that. So I usually have a pretty good grasp on what he likes. I don't know, for this year, for some reason, I was like struggling to find stuff, because he's also the kind of person who's like, those kind of people who you buy a gift for, and if they don't like the thing, they're just kind of like, ah, and you feel bad about it, even though like you shouldn't, because that's kind of against the whole point of buying gifts. He's kind of like that. So I want to make sure I get, I mean, this applies to everybody, but I want to make sure I get people stuff they actually do want and like appreciate. You know what I mean? And I usually am pretty good at that for the most part. Other than that, this week, been working more on Lad's album. I'm gonna be dead ass. I have hard slacked when it came to jobs this week. Like I have looked twice this week. I've got a list of 3 jobs. See, the issue is I kind of got told the other day that one of my friends works somewhere and they're going for a position that is like a trainee role, and then if they get that, they're gonna try and get me in as like a new trainee. And now that they've told me that, I think my head is just like, wait, okay, that might work, and if that works and I've already got something, then I'll be sad. So I don't know, man. I wish I could work these things out. And finally this week, we were working on the Lads quiz. I don't know if I've said this, but I'm doing a big Lads end of the year quiz that we're going to be doing in a VC. It's going to be a great time. It's like a pub quiz sort of thing. And it will probably be made into a video. So keep your eye for that. If it is made into a video or a stream or whatever, it means you'll be able to play along because of the format of the quiz as well. And that's really exciting because I've not told anybody anything about the quiz other than it's 10 questions, 10 rounds. So yeah, I'm excited for that because, it's a mix of Lads trivia, it's a mix of general trivia, and it's a mix of like media trivia and stuff like that. So it's really cool. I'm pretty hyped for that. And actually, the last thing is something I can't really talk about for once. It's just like an event thingy I've gone for. I spent a long time toying over whether I should try it or not. And I've gone for it. We'll see how that goes, and I'll probably update you on that next week. If I do make one of these next week, I might struggle to find the time next week because all my family is no longer in work next week. So these videos would be kind of awkward to film with them around because they love eavesdropping on what I say. So bear that in mind as well. But I will still try nonetheless. Yeah. Anyway, that kind of brings me to, I guess, a tangent I'm going to go on for this week's video that I'm not too certain on. And it's to do with me waking up on Wednesday. Me waking up on Wednesday. And you're probably wondering, why is it about me waking up on Wednesday? What the hell has me waking up on Wednesday got to do with a theme? And I'll tell you. Basically, I woke up on Wednesday, and it was one of those nights where, like, I had, like, a dream, right? And this dream kept on, like, continuing. And it kept going. You know, when you have, like, a dream, and you, like, kind of wake up from it, and then you try and go back to sleep again, and then you go back into that dream, you know what I mean? It's a weird one, because I kept having this dream. And it was basically about it was weird because it was about friends and people I used to have, right? That I haven't had for like 3 years, three or 4 years now, and it was really weird because dreams, at least to my understanding, are based off of some level of, like, your subconscious, right? It's like, often I'll find if I've, like, been thinking about something or there's been something that's been on my mind during the day, and I have a dream, like, it makes sense that it's about the thing I was thinking about during that day, you know? That's kind of how it goes. It's also the reason why I don't tend to have nightmares, because I feel like, typically in my head, I don't worry about things that you would have a nightmare about, you know what I mean? So my head would never kind of dream that. But yeah, and it just kind of got me thinking, like, have I changed? And I know that sounds, like, really weird, right? But I'm a very, like, I worry a lot about things, like how I come across, what people think of me and stuff like that, and I get told all the time that it's not right to worry about that, especially because there are people in your life that will just not think highly of you, or not even just not think highly, but for some reason, like, dislike you, and you have to accept that, even though sometimes it is no fault of your own. And yeah, I just sit there and I'm like, have I changed? Like, has everything that I've been through since being with those people, am I a different person from then? Like, have I actually, like, improved on things? Have I got worse on things? It's just a weird thing to think about, right? Because these people that I no longer, like, talk to or whatever, at one point in my life, they were essentially what lads is to me now. I mean, lesser than that, because, I mean, I can find more personally in lads, and I guess I'm more, and lads are more emotionally mature now, because, you know, that was 3 years ago, so everybody back then was younger, and stuff like that. But it's weird, it's like, have I actually changed, or am I gonna keep making the same mistakes that I've always made? You know, am I actually the person that I hope I am? Like, you know, do I actually stick to the things I say? Do people, you know, think of me in a positive way? Do people think of me in a negative way? You know, and it's an interesting thought I had, and the reason why I had it is because that dream came up, and I was like, okay, have I not changed? Have I not moved on and accepted the past, if you get what I mean? Because why would I be randomly dreaming about that? And it's I'm curious if any of you guys have had a similar thing before. Have any of you guys had a time when you've dreamed something that it was so long ago that it feels so irrelevant, but it for some reason was on some sort of subconscious part of your mind, and it just makes you think, is there a reason? You know, and I get, you know what? We found the tangent. Is there a reason? That's a good question. I often look at things like this, or I guess I used to, and I think I used to do it too much. And I often looked and reasoned that there was always a reason behind something happening, right? Because it helped me be like, oh, you know what? This thing sucks, but it's okay because there's a reason. You know that is it a kind of religious mindset? I'm not sure, but yeah, and I think it helped for the most part, because sitting there and thinking like, oh, there's a reason why this thing had to go wrong. This thing going wrong means that this thing will go right, something like that. And it's an interesting mindset. I'm curious what people think of this as well, because, you know, when something bad happens, how do you deal with something bad happening? I'm curious. I usually sit there and just try and be like, well, you know, initially it's like, man, it sucks. I really wish that didn't happen. But eventually I kind of try and spin it and be like, all right, let's try and look at the bright side of things. Like, was that just meant to happen? What can I achieve instead because that happened, you know? Because a lot of the time, in hindsight, if you look back at, or at least in my case, if I look back at bad things that have happened to me, a lot of them, if they wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't be where I am today. Like, if, you know, this friends thing, the people I used to know, we talked about earlier, they're in my dream, right? If I wouldn't have not been friends with them anymore, and those things that happened didn't happen, would I wouldn't be who I am right now, right? And, you know, of course I'm not perfect, but I'm happy as a person with who I am right now. I feel like maybe I tried too much to kind of be happier with myself personality-wise, because now I'm kind of slacking on the actual, like, life-wise, but, you know. But yeah, I feel like I'm happy with where I am right now, and that's because of all those things, right? Like, our past informs who we are. So, like, while I, you know, didn't enjoy those things, especially in the time, and you know, sometimes I sit there and think, man, it would have been nice for those things not to have happened. If they didn't happen, I wouldn't be where I am right now. And that's kind of an important thing. It's kind of how I continue going. Things have a reason, right? And sometimes I get a bit, is the word delusional with it? So I sit there and be like, hang on. Is there a reason why I had that dream? You know? Like let's think about it. Is there a reason why all of a sudden I had that dream? Why was that on some sort of subconscious area of my mind? Why? What was it? You know? And I sit there and quite often try and reason with that. Now, obviously sometimes there isn't always a reason for everything, is a thing I have to learn. There isn't always a reason. Sometimes things just happen, and those things just happen. But it's a nice way to try and help cope and accept things, I feel like, is to kind of try and find the reason behind them, as long as you don't get too, like, stressed over the fact that there has to be a reason, right? Like, if something bad happens to you, as long as you don't sit there and be like, no, there has to be a reason why this happened, and don't get, like, delusional over it. I think it's okay to kind of try and find the reason, because that reason can propel you to kind of move on and be in a better place. But like I said, I'm curious what you guys all think. I'm sorry this week's being very, like, all over the place. But that's, I guess my mind just didn't really have, like, a specific topic. I feel like I've got a decent enough tangent. But what are your thoughts on all the stuff I brought up? And how's your guys' weeks been? I'm very curious to see what you guys think. Content should be coming back to main channel a little bit soon. We've got... of course, we got the quiz that I mentioned. I'll probably turn into a video. We got the Secret Santa I might turn into a video. We've got the Laz album. And I'll probably do an end of the year video that's basically just one of these where I'm just talking about the year as a whole. There's also talks about doing a podcast and stuff like that. So, yeah, videos should be returned to main channel a little bit. Obviously not permanently, but... yeah, so keep your eyes out for that. I'll also try my best to do a few streams over the Christmas season. I'll probably dive into more of that next week's video. Because obviously I'm not in any events around the Christmas time. So we will see. Maybe I'll try and run an event of my own for Christmas. I don't know. But thank you guys so much for coming out. I really do appreciate it. It does mean a lot. Thank you for all the support and views and all that sort of stuff on this channel. I do really, really appreciate it. I don't know why I said A like that. But thank you guys so much for coming out. And I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye, guys.